Caitlin Clark didn't even wait for the season to cool off before securing another paycheck. While half the WNBA is tangled up in CBA drama, Clark landed her first off-season gig, and the league's feeling the heat. This time, she's not chasing rebounds, she's chasing microphones and big money. So, here's the real question. Is the WNBA mad or just jealous? I've said it before, this woman doesn't rest. While others debate leadership, lockouts, and Kathy Engelbert's vanishing press conferences, Caitlin's out there booking speaking events. Not sponsorships, just paid appearances to talk.
Conversations last offseason was Caitlin Clark $100,000 an hour speaking gigs. Well, I'm here to tell you she is not taking long getting back to work, raking in the cash because she has landed.
And it's not like she's speaking at some local school assembly. We're talking high-end corporate conferences, $100,000 per appearance kind of gigs. Let's rewind for a second. Last off-season, the internet lost its mind when reports surfaced that Caitlin Clark's speaking fee hovered around six figures, about $100,000 an hour. People laughed at first, until companies actually started lining up to book her. And now, barely a month after the season ended, she's already locked in another deal. Honestly, the WNBA front office probably found out the same way we did, on Twitter.
Need the money to do unrivaled. She's landing $100K to speak to speak for companies and represent companies all over the country. She's not hurting for cash, and I just think this is just the coolest thing ever that Caitlin Clark is able.
Here's the deal. Caitlin Clark has just been announced as the featured speaker for the Long Island Association's Fall Conference. And yes, that's Long Island, home of big money, old money, and golf course boardrooms. She'll be sitting down with their president, Matt Cohen, for an exclusive conversation about her record-breaking performances, her influence on the game, and how she's shaping the future beyond basketball. In other words, she's the face of the sport, and the WNBA knows it.
So it looked like Caitlin Clark is headed to Long Island Association, bro. So we're stating Long Island Association joined the Long Island Association's president and CEO, Matt Cohen, moderates a special conversation with Caitlin Clark discussing her record-breaking performances, impact, and cultural influence on October the 29th at 10:30 to 12:30 in New York.
And this isn't some charity gig, it's a paid corporate event. They've already said tickets are limited, sponsorships are open, and it's happening at the Holly Country Club, which, let's be honest, isn't exactly a spot for broke people. So yeah, Caitlin's getting paid, and paid well. Here's the wild part. Fans are loving it, but the league's front office? They're sweating. When your biggest star makes in 1 hour what half your roster earns in a month, that's a problem. Do the math. The average WNBA player makes around $120,000 a year. Caitlin Clark can pocket nearly that much from one speaking gig, and she's not even breaking a sweat. No fouls, no elbows, no refs pretending not to see the chaos, just air conditioning, microphones, and applause. Meanwhile, Kathy Engelbert's probably sitting in a boardroom trying to figure out how to stop players from pushing for a lockout next season. It's the perfect contrast. Players are complaining about league pay while Caitlin Clark quietly proves she doesn't even need the league to win. Now, don't get it twisted. Caitlin's not done with basketball. But this move sends a clear message. Her brand is bigger than the WNBA itself. And that's what has everyone nervous. Because when Caitlin Clark's face alone can sell out arenas, sponsors start asking a dangerous question. Do we really need the league, or do we just need her? That's when the WNBA starts sweating, realizing the same star who made them rich this year could make them irrelevant next year.
With working back to full health, Steph mentioned that it was kind of baby steps and getting back and making sure you don't lose what you've worked on this season. Just what are your plans for the off season and possibly playing or just doing individual workouts?
Yeah, I mean, probably take a little bit of a break here, just for maybe a week. I don't really want to lose a ton of the stuff I've worked on, and just trying to get my body back to full health. There's some USA basketball stuff I need to get ready for, and I need to be able to find some runs and some ways to play 5-on-5, just so I can kind of get that feel back. And but more than anything, I think my main focus is really just getting my body healthy. And once we get back to 5-on-5, like just being able to test my body and make sure I know it's in a good spot where it's going to be able to hold up with everything that, we think we've corrected or we think we've worked on, to be able to know I'm in a really good spot there. And, when you go through injuries, especially in my scenario where it's been a few of the reoccurring kind of bouncing around, which isn't necessarily uncommon in my situation just because of compensation, and when you're dealing with things in that groin area, that just is kind of how it can go sometimes. I think it's important that you can become confident in your body again, and that's for anybody that goes through injury. So that's probably going to be my main focus is, just feeling 100% again, and then obviously, having that confidence in my body too.
This off-season gig with the Long Island Association isn't just a side hustle, it's a power move. It proves Caitlin Clark isn't waiting for the WNBA to fix its image. She's building her own empire. And let's be honest, the numbers behind it are massive. Companies pay anywhere from $100,000 to $250,000 for speakers of her caliber. You really think they're paying less for the most talked about athlete in women's sports? Not a chance. She's basically giving TED Talks with a jump shot. What's funny is watching people online act surprised. This is the same Caitlin Clark who turned college basketball into a national spectacle. The same one who made Iowa games trend higher than NBA Finals highlights. The same one who sold out every away arena in her rookie WNBA season. Did anyone really think she'd just sit at home all winter? Nah, she's cashing in while everyone else's PR teams argue on Twitter. But here's why this really matters. While Caitlin's out setting up speaking tours, the WNBA is drowning in drama. Nafisa Collier's calling out the commissioner, AJA Wilson's catching heat, and Kathy Engelbert's still dodging interviews. The league desperately needed a good headline, and Caitlin handed them one. The twist. It's not theirs, it's hers. That's the difference. She's not letting the WNBA define her off-season. She's defining it herself. And that's something the league can't control. Because when a player becomes bigger than the league, the balance shifts. You can't bench her. You can't fine her. You can't silence her. She's got sponsors, media, fans, and now her own platform. Honestly, it's kind of poetic. While other players are fighting for better paychecks, Caitlin's showing them how to create their own. She's turning fame into business, popularity into independence. And the WNBA doesn't know how to handle that. Let's be real, though. Some media outlets are already twisting the story with headlines like, Caitlin Clark chooses corporate over team unity. Come on. You can't hate someone for being smart. She's not abandoning basketball, she's expanding it. It's not like she's skipping practice to film commercials. The season's over. This is exactly what the off-season is for. NBA players host camps. NFL players sign endorsement deals. Caitlin Clark. She's giving speeches and getting paid exactly what she's worth. That's not greed. That's value. And no one understands that better than the corporations signing those checks. They see what the WNBA sometimes forgets. Caitlin Clark isn't just a player, she's global. Her fan base stretches far beyond Indiana. It's Iowa, it's the Midwest, it's international. Kids in Europe mimic her shot mechanics. Parents everywhere spend hundreds on her jerseys. That's real power. So when she books a $100,000 speaking gig at a luxury golf club, it's not just about the paycheck, it's a statement. She's reminding everyone that her influence reaches far beyond the court. And that's exactly why the WNBA's nervous. Whether they admit it or not, this season's success was powered by one woman. When Caitlin Clark played, ratings soared. When she didn't, they dropped. That's not speculation, it's data. Now the season's over, and the league's biggest moneymaker is doing off-season events that have nothing to do with them. They can't promote it, they can't profit from it, and they can't control it. It's Caitlin's world, they're just living in it. You can tell the panic's real because WNBA media is already trying to spin it, calling it just one event. Sure, until it turns into 10. Last year, one speaking gig led to 3 more. This year, it'll probably double again. By 2026, Caitlin Clark could make more from her off-season speeches than from her entire WNBA salary, and honestly, she's earned it. You can't expect someone who carried the league, took hard fouls, dealt with jealousy, and kept showing up to sit quietly in the off-season. She's taking her piece, and her profit. Now, about why she didn't join *Unrivaled*, the player-run off-season league by Nafisa Collier and Brianna Stewart. Simple, she doesn't need to. *Unrivaled* is great for players looking to boost their income. but Caitlyn's already there and beyond. Why risk injury in another league when you can earn the same amount speaking in heels instead of sneakers? That's Business 101. Work smarter, not harder. This move proves Caitlin Clark isn't just an athlete, she's a businesswoman. And when fans say she should use her platform to fight for other players, they're missing the point. She is fighting by showing them a better playbook. She's teaching every young athlete that you can build your own brand, that you don't need permission to succeed. And that's what terrifies the league the most. Because once players realize they don't need the WNBA to make real money, the power dynamic changes forever. We've seen it before. Shaq did it, Kobe did it, Serena did it. Now Caitlin Clark's doing it her way. Her Long Island gig isn't just a payday, it's a message to sponsors everywhere. She's open for business. And it's only the beginning. Next up, a new Nike campaign, maybe a Netflix docuseries, or even her own basketball academy, and every one of those moves happens completely outside the WNBA's control. Meanwhile, the league's PR team is busy tweeting about unity and growth. Sure, unity sounds nice, but growth doesn't pay the bills. Caitlin Clark isn't waiting for anyone to hand her a check, she's writing her own, and the timing? Perfect. Her Long Island speaking gig happens October 29th, just days before Halloween, and the exact week the WNBA's collective bargaining agreement expires. While players and execs argue over contracts, Caitlin Clark will be on a golf course in New York, headlining a luxury business conference and talking about leadership and success. If that's not poetic, I don't know what is. The league might literally go into a lockout while its biggest star is out there inspiring millionaires. And you can already see the headlines, WNBA faces lockout as Caitlin Clark shines outside the league. The press will eat it up. So will her sponsors, because no matter what happens, Caitlin wins. If there's a lockout, she's fine. If there isn't, she comes back richer than before. Either way, she's winning, and that's exactly what the WNBA can't handle. Right now, the league feels like it's one bad headline away from falling apart. Meanwhile, Caitlin keeps reminding everyone she doesn't need favoritism, special treatment, or inflated ratings. She's got something no one else has: universal respect. Even people who don't love her game respect her grind. She's professional, marketable, and relentlessly consistent. She doesn't pick fights or post petty comments, she lets her success speak for itself, and that's the problem for the league. Because when your biggest star can make the same money, or more, without you, it raises a scary question. What happens if she decides not to come back? Think about that. If Caitlin Clark ever took a break from the WNBA, or went international, the league's ratings would nosedive overnight. And judging by how easily she's pulling six-figure gigs, she wouldn't lose a cent. That's power, and it's rarer, so yeah, the WNBA's sweating bullets watching her name trend again. This time, not for basketball, but for business. And the best part, Caitlin doesn't even have to say a word. No Twitter rants, no press statements, just quiet success and a growing bank balance. She's turned her off-season into a business masterclass. While the league wrestles with leadership drama, she's building a legacy that pays, whether she plays or not. Because Caitlin's success doesn't just make money, it makes noise. Every move she makes becomes a headline. When she plays, people watch. When she speaks, people listen. Even when she takes a break, ESPN finds a reason to write about her. That's when you know you've reached a level no one else in the WNBA has. And that's what really bothers the league. Because instead of headlines reading WNBA reaches new heights, they all say Caitlin Clark breaks another record. She's the one carrying the brand, not the other way around. She's become a walking empire, like Jordan, LeBron, or Serena. The WNBA wasn't built to handle that kind of star. They want players who fit inside the system. But Caitlin is the system now. She doesn't need the WNBA spotlight anymore. The spotlight follows her. So when she walks into that Long Island ballroom later this month, wearing a suit instead of a jersey, everyone in that room will know they're not just looking at an athlete, they're witnessing a phenomenon. So what do you think? Is Caitlin Clark changing the game for everyone? Or just proving she's already miles ahead? Drop your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more.